we chose a topic for a few of our talks, Nellie and I did. And we're going to be calling it, our title is Nourishing Body and Mind. And I'm going to start off with so much dukkha around nourishing our body and mind. And there's a lot of grief that goes with this process of providing nourishment, gentleness, kindness. Because one of the reasons is there's so much emphasis on the exterior form, what our body looks like, its shape, its size, its our health, what it says about us, and that this real ideal is kind of tagging along with the dukkha that we feel around the nourishment we're trying to give it.
So Linda, when you said you're going to, start out with the dukkha, and I thought, that is what we do in reflective meditation. We do often start out by looking at the dukkha, but it is not to get us more deeply entrenched in it, but it is to know it, and in the knowing of it and becoming aware of it, hopefully something changes in it. So this talk will be more on the dukkha side of having a body, and we're going to also be more on the body side rather than the mind side. We're going to do both today, aren't we? Never
We
mind.
are.
We're going to do both, but how our mind regards this body as though they're separate. So, perhaps you might yearn, I might yearn for times when our bodies worked easily without problems and we didn't have to pay so much attention to it. When the times when our body works well, when we look in the mirror, hey, it looks good. Um, and that we actually can do certain things that help us feel better, help us have less experience of the dukkha of the body. And here's another aspect that is pretty common and actually very adds to the dukkha. But if we do try something to make our body feel better and it doesn't work out, we wonder if we fail, if it's still going on. It becomes a self thing and a negative self thing. Or perhaps something else goes on and you remedied that, but here's the next.
Just keeps coming at times. Um, it, we we are going to look at this from the angle of no one told me old age hurts. And sometimes these hurts, these are kind of painful sensations in our body. Our body grows in ways we didn't expect it to. Um, some of the hurts are, as we're talking about, as Nellie just said, they're kind of more emotional, or whose fault is this, or what did I do wrong, or um, I don't feel good in my body anymore, and I don't know why. Or our body just even not functioning in the way, growing up with a certain athleticism, and then that fades over time, or an ability just to, kind of interact in a way that feels uplifting, and our body doesn't lift anymore.
Um, Yeah, and I've been reading, as I've spoken about before. I'll probably speak about it again because it's going to take me a long time, but I'm reading some of my old journals. And it's easy for me to think, now I've got all these more physical problems and my body's causing me so much more dukkha now that I'm an old person. But not exactly. When I was younger, I was dealing with other kinds of bodily difficulties, and I was feeling bad about how I looked, and et cetera, et cetera. So just kind of different flavor to it, but it's sort of the same thing. So I'll go on.
Okay.
So there are five aggregates, and we've taught on those before, which are what the self supposedly clings to, actually, is what the aggregates are described as. We'll get to clinging a little later, but only one of these is the body. Um, and there can be a view in Buddhism that the other four aggregates, which are more mental, should be able to, if we develop them well, should be able to overcome this bodily dukkha, maybe all bodily experience, maybe bodily sukha too, which is feeling good, feeling good. Um, so what we're trying to say is that it's easy to believe, and I don't think this is just in Buddhism. This definitely carries over into other perspectives, but believe that we should overcome through our emotional training. We should be able to overcome all of this pain in our body. We should be able to just be equanimous and accept it.
And the fact that there's four other aggregates: your perception, your consciousness, your habit patterns, um, that because there's four, they would, trump this one form of the body, like that they should be, there's four against one, so to speak. But the body is very dominant. It's a very dominant aggregate. And when there are things, I'm speaking from my experience and from what I've heard from other people, it can be really overwhelming and overwhelm all the other four. It's not just kind of a math game there. It's really that one has a lot of power in it. And understanding that can really lessen the view that you should be able to overcome your physical challenges just by changing your mind or practicing harder, or being more equanimous. In fact, it's often a view called, clinging, that you shouldn't be clinging to what's going on, and you should be able to be more accepting and drop the expectations around what's going on with your body.
So here's our view, or one of our views. It's definitely, we have many views, but our physical health and our body size are not reflective of our spiritual or emotional health.
And that this is a knowledge. To actually know this, believe it, be a value that you incorporate. Because I feel like this view has come over time. This isn't a view that I just woke up with. This is something that I've developed. Nelly and I've talked about, we've developed, but that really that your health, your physical health and your body size is not indicative of your spiritual or emotional health when the world believes that it is.
And we've been conditioned that it is.
Yeah.
And we keep getting fed more views that it is. Yeah. So obviously, the next statement is obvious, but we need to state it. Our body changes over time, and it takes time to adapt to these changes, or if we can correct these changes to find the best path of healing, um, or to just learn how to be with these changes, with kindness and curiosity. And as Linda said, you just don't wake up with this. This develops over time, and not always, or maybe even usually, on our hoped for timeline.
Okay, so we'll end our talk here.